Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Today I'm going to share with you my favorite recipe in the entire world. This stuff is called porcupine meatballs and it has a nice tomatoey, brothy gravy, and it's served over mashed potatoes and it's just amazing. My grandma used to make it about once a year and it was just never enough. I needed to have it more often. So I have the recipe now and I'm going to share it with you guys. So first we start out with some tomato soup. I've got two 32-ounce boxes here. My grandma always liked to use Campbell's soup, the condensed soup where you pour it in and then add a can of water. But I like this stuff, but I do add a little extra water because I like to have lots of this brothy gravy. It's just so good. So we're gonna add a cup of water next. And I just kind of eyeballed it. My measuring cups were preoccupied at the moment. And then we're just going to put that to the side and stir it up a little bit and then put it to the side and get to making our meatballs. So I have 2 pounds here of ground beef we're going to add to our bowl. And next we're going to add 3/4 cup of rice. You can use instant rice if you like. I'm using just jasmine rice. And I have a 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And then I'm going to crush a few cloves of garlic. I'm using like 4 or 5 here. I love garlic and I really kind of overdo it on the garlic maybe, but really when the recipe says add 1 or 2, you've got to like triple it really. So and if you decide you don't want to use fresh garlic, you can of course use garlic powder. I would use 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons. And next we're going to chop up our onion, and we're going to use about 1/3 cup of onion, and you want to cut it up really fine. I actually didn't do it fine enough for this recipe, but that's okay. And now we are ready to mix it up. So just take your hands and squish it all together, and you're going to kind of work it like you would a dough. Basically till all the ingredients are evenly incorporated and you have basically like a huge meatball, and then we will divide it up. And once I get my giant meatball here, I start dividing it just by pinching the ball in half and then pinching that half in half and then that half in half until I get down to maybe like 1/8 or so. So this is still a little too big, but you could cook them just like that, but I'm going to do it one more divide here. And then we have this perfect little meatball, and then we plop it into our soup mix. And once all our meatballs are ready and put into the soup, we are going to add this to our pressure cooker. So you can use like a regular stovetop pressure cooker. I have never personally used one and they're kind of terrifying, but I have this like instant pressure cooker, and it was actually sent to me by this company called Symfonio that makes it. And I love it because it has a much bigger display screen than the regular Instapot that everyone's used to, and it's just super easy to use. And I'll actually leave a link down below where you can get it on Amazon. Alright, so now we are going to set our time to 15 minutes and our pressure at high and our temperature at high. Again, this is something you can do on a regular pressure cooker. I personally have no idea how. So yeah, after 15 minutes, our meatballs are done and they look amazing. They of course smell amazing, and these are served typically over mashed potatoes. I didn't go into how to make mashed potatoes in this video because that's pretty self-explanatory. I think everybody knows how to make mashed potatoes. You can do it over instant mashed potatoes. I made these ones from scratch. So yeah, and I like to get, just 4 or 5 meatballs. I think I'm gonna really pile them on here. And then I like to get a few scoops of that extra gravy because it's just so delicious and it tastes amazing over the mashed potatoes. And if you haven't noticed yet, they're called porcupine meatballs because of the rice inside, so it kind of makes them a little pokey or so. Every time I tell anybody about this recipe, they're like, ew, porcupine meat? And I'm like, no, it's rice. But yeah, this is my favorite recipe in the entire world. It's just such a amazing comfort food, you know, sticks to your ribs, and it's just so comforting and warm. And I love the tomatoey broth or gravy. It's just very different. You know, it's not like your typical brown or white gravy, and it's just really good. It has a lot of that meaty beef flavor. And I hope you guys get a chance to try this and let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you've ever had this before, yeah, tag me in your photos on Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.